Hey guys, what's going on? Peter J. Cruz here. Thanks for stopping by. I got something really cool, really unusual, cruel and unusual actually. It's not punishment, or maybe it is if you sit there and watch the whole thing. But what I'm going to do for you today is something off the beaten path, something I haven't done here for you guys before. I've done stuff like this before myself, but I've never done it on camera. So bear with me. This is going to be raw. This is going to be unedited essentially. I might have to stop the camera. I'm by myself. I can't do 50 million things all at once with the camera and what I'm going to be doing, and you're going to see what I'm going to be doing. What I'm going to do is, you ready? I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to be doing. As you know, I picked up a couple of EMG pickups. These are the gold covered. I got an EMG 57 I'm going to put in my bridge, and an EMG 66 gold covered as well. And I'm going to put them in the in my latest Carvin, my walnut Carvin ST300C, and in the process of trying to expedite some, I've already gotten a few things rolling. Just kind of keep you guys from being bored to tears as I do this and some tedious stuff. This Post-it, and I'm going to go over as much as I can. And by the way, I've never done an active install before. This is my first time, but as you're going to see, this is a complete solderless setup. It looks brainlessly easy, so why not, you know? I'm going to remove everything in all the electronics in my Carvin, and then from there I'm going to install the new stuff, and it should hopefully be plug and play. So anyway, stay tuned for that. But anyway, this here, which is always a good idea when you do start messing around with pickups and stuff, is make a sketch of your wiring that you have in your guitar, because you know that works. Okay? Word to the wise. And by the way, before I go any further, disclaimer out the wazoo. I am not responsible for any damage you do to your guitar, to your body, to your health, to your local environment, or to the planet Earth. Okay? You are your own responsible party. So word to the wise. If you are unable to do this or don't have the proper tools, then you shouldn't do this at home. All right. So all right. Let me kind of play with the camera here, and all right, guys. All right. Better. Now I'm going to give you an overview of some of the tools I have and what I've got. So here we go. Of course, you got the pickups, and this always comes in handy. They're called instruction manuals or instruction sheets or whatever. Good to have. A screwdriver, a drill bit that a buddy of mine on the Carvin message forums, Flying Fader, thanks man, you rock, said I might need this to kind of remount the potentiometer holes to widen them out slightly. I mean, and he said ever so slightly for the EMG pots to actually fit. I've got a couple of ratchets here, different sizes for the output jack as well as the volume pots. This here is actually the EMG three-way switch, and you'll notice it's actually got the bus built onto it, and it should just screw right in to the stock location. Your EMG connections, your output jack from EMG came with the pickups. Of course, the volume and actually that's the volume pot and that's the tone pot that came with the EMG pickups. A little wire cutter and flashlight so I can see what the heck I'm doing. And there's going to be some other stuff probably. You'll notice I've already put tape on the pickups. I've removed the screws for them that mount them to the body, and I've already moved the strings off the guitar. What I have done, and I always do this personally when I'm changing strings, is I stick an eraser underneath the bridge to keep it from collapsing into the body, marring the finish, and so forth. So anyway, let me put this down and flip the guitar over. All right, let's see. Now here's the pickup cavity, and I mean, I just love the way Carvin does their shielding. I mean, it just Very cool. Anyway, so here's your potentiometers, your stock 5-way switch, all your pickup wires, and then the output jack, of course, here in the corner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start removing all the stuff. So bear with me here. All right, guys. First step is I'm going to go ahead and just clear everything out so I can remove everything. And rather than desolder, I'm just going to just kind of clip stuff here at the switch. All right. Got all that stuff removed from the switch. All right. The only hiccup I might anticipate is having to enlarge for the pots. So, all right. Well, let me go ahead and remove the pickups. The wire should let go now. And I pulled them out because the looks like I forgot a ground wire here. Okay. Okay. I probably had forgotten to snip a one of the little wires here from one of the ground loops that they had created, or ground portions, or whatever you want to call it. Grounds, I guess. There you go. Inside the guitar. So I didn't want to pull through the cavity. So basically, can you see it here? All right. One of the wires was still connected to here, so it wouldn't let me pull it through the cavity. But I've got that taken out now. Now what I'm going to do is remove the 5-way switch. How about that? So there's the stock 5-way switch. All right. Now, what I need to do is, I guess, get the potentiometers out. Here we go. Probably a bit too wide. It's this one here. I believe this is a 7/16. this back over. So now that I've undone the pots, here they are right here. So now that I'm at that point, I put in a, this is a, I guess a 1/2 inch. I'm loosening up the and there's the stock, and that's all the stock electronics. I've already just pulled it out of the guitar. I guess I'll put it over here for right now, or other way. That's for the stock pots as well. I'll leave that over there. All right. All right. Okay. Well, I've gone ahead and actually gotten in the volume pot from EMG. It did require a little bit of shaving some of the wood, so I'm actually going to show you what I did right now for that, because that's, I know for me that was the big thing I was most worried about on tackling this project, was having to ream away some wood to fit a jack. But you know what, before I do that, let me test fit this one to see if this will even fit straight up. Haven't even gone to that point yet. All right, so let me turn this over and see if this will fit. It's a little. It's actually got enough clearance, so I think I'm good. I don't even need to ream this one out. So let me just leave this lined up, and I'll put the washer in and stuff. Or maybe I don't have enough clearance on it. Let me take a look at it again. No, I don't. So I am going to have to ream it out a teeny bit. I thought it peaked out enough that I'd be able to do it, but not quite. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ream it out. Make sure you guys can see it here. So I'm going to grab a piece of tape, put it over. I want to make sure it's on there pretty good. It helps hold the wood together. And this one's actually a it's actually a 5/16 drill bit. I'm going to pull it up in the light here. Let me grab my glove here. Hold on. This is to give me some. Okay, bad joke. Okay. All right. There's the hole. it's barely tight enough. So I'm just kind of scraping away a little bit of the inside wood. Not a whole lot. Let's test fit that right there. Clean. And let's try this again. This is the tone pot. It's not coming up quite enough, but it's not the fault of the hole. It's actually, let me kind of lower that nut a teeny bit. Okay. Sorry for the shaky camera movement, guys. This is not a high dollar production. All right, so I've got the volume. There's the tone pots here, volume pots there, and that one's already been mounted and screwed down, tightened. Now I'm going to tighten this one down. And we have a tightened pot. Just tighten them both down a teeny bit more snug. Okay, our volume pots have been attached. How about that? Now is where it gets really cool. Now I'm going to mount in. Actually, I could probably put in the. No, I'll do that after. I'm going to put in the EMG. This is the EMG three-way switch. I can take my glove off now. I'm done with the drill bits. Alright. What I would like to do in this is, because I'm going to see if the stock Carvin screws for the switch actually fit the thread. And if they do, I'm going to use that. Well, these screws look a bit longer, and it was these two right here. No. It'll end up cross-threading, I think, if I do it, so I'm just going to stick with the EMG. So of course this here is the EMG three-way switch for Strat, and I'm putting this in my Carvin. And you'll notice you'll want to put, it'll slide through there, and then it just screws in from the other side. So let me go ahead and screw it in from the other side while I... Actually, maybe I shouldn't even screw it in yet, because this way I can plug in all the wires afterwards. So let me just put it in there for right now, and I won't put the screws just in yet. Let me get the rest of the stuff going on. So we figure out where the rest of the wires are. Hold on. Alright, let's see. So got the pots mounted. Now I was going to do the switch, but of course you got to plug in everything into the switch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the other stuff from the pickup. Let's see what we got here. Got the jack. Got some shrink tubing. Here's one set of wires for the This goes for the jack also. These connect to switches. And then I've got for the pickup. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is run this through. Let's do the bridge first. Gotta run them through the little hole for the wires. Okay, do you see that? And then on the top side, I've got that wire hanging out from the top. So what I'm going to do at the moment is, so I don't have to relive this scenario, so I'm going to tape it down. And by the way, I like to use a painter's tape because it will hold it in place and won't do anything to the wood of the guitar, the finish, or anything like that. And we'll leave that as such. I think I've got enough clearance here to mount to the switch, so we're good there. And actually, before I forget, I'll do the same thing here. And I'm going to label that bridge. Alright. Okay. Now, you know what I just realized? I never opened up the other package for the other pickup, so I'm missing a cable. So I have to go grab that. I'll be back. Okay, got the second one out for the neck pickup and rinse and repeat. So let me go back into the front of the guitar. You with me on this one? This is kind of a tight fit in the little hole, so I'm going to put one in first, and then I'll put the second one through. And here we go. That's the neck pickup. Let me just, again, tape this down. And I'm just going to tape this out of my way for the moment. I don't need to label it because I only have two pickups, and if I know that one's bridge, this one obviously is going to be the neck. Okay, cool. So now, next step is, well, first of all, let's look at this pickup cavity. I've got this wire for the neck pickup, this wire for the bridge, tone pot, volume pot, and I have a 5-way switch. And then just whatever wires go to my output jack. That's going to be the whole pickup cavity, and you're not going to see a big mess of wires like you do with a typical passive setup. So, all right. So now what I need to do is, here's my EMG switch. I think I'm ready to mount this now. So here it goes. Let me look at this way. So I need to do bridge pickup. And then it's actually going to mount in this way. But since it's upside down and I can't read it, I'm going to do it this way for now until I mount the wires, and then I'll put it in correctly. Alright, so now I need to go bridge pickup, black and white, and you'll notice on the this is where the pickups actually connect, okay? You got your bridge, your neck, and then you've got your color codes here, white, black, red. Red, of course, coming from the battery, and then black and red from the pickup. So I just have to line these up, and of course I'm going to do the second row first because that's where my bridge pickup is. So I've got white to the right, and then red. And now I'm going to repeat that for the neck pickup. Okay, then red goes there. Cool. And then, let's see, this is my battery. Right, battery gets plugged in there. Okay. Now I'm going to consult the wiring diagram to make sure I've got the right stuff to hook them to the right way. Hold on. Alright. Now what we need to do is connect everything up on the, I guess, on the internal side. Of course, we're still playing with the switch. This is, again, the three-way switch, the EMG. Now what we're going to do is I need to connect a output connection here, black and white. Okay, here we go. And then that's actually going to go to right over here. On the volume control. Are you able to see that? Yeah, okay. Now, that goes onto the volume control. Now we need to go to another one of these. And this is now going to go to let me double check my diagram again. Go from the output to the master volume, which I did on the outside. Then on the wiper, which is the inside, then goes to the master tone, which, since I only have a tone, it's just one. So then that's going to go to the wiper. And if you can see that here, the wiper on these is the middle. On the tone, excuse me, on the volume control, I should say. This is a little tricky, but not too bad. All right. So now that's there, and this is going to go to the one side of my tone control. And you know what? Before I do anything else, I just realized I've got a ground wire attached over here. Let me pull that off because EMGs don't require a ground. I can't wedge it in there. let me find a tool proper for this. Alright, so what I'm going to do, get this kind of out of the way. See, I got the little ground wire right there. I'm just going to pull it away a little bit enough that I can. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of fold it. I've got some electrical tape around here. I'll seal it up a little bit later. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But anyway, so now getting back to my tone control, and key to pay attention to on these wirings is you'll notice on all these little plugs, you might be able to see it, might not. I'll tell you what, let's see if you can make it out. There's a little arrow right there on the end of the plug, and all the connectors here on the EMGs actually have that, and you want to make sure that's the part that's going up. So anyway, so I'm going to plug this in here. You know what? I'm going to actually take this and that's going to be out of the way. Okay, now I'll just have to take the output and then again look for my arrow, which will be right here on top. Alright, then this of course will then just attach to my output jack. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go pull up a video on YouTube where, or I think it's Rob Turner, the owner of EMG, actually does an install on a Zach Wild set. And he actually covers exactly how he hooks this all up. So I'm going to double check that before I put the wrong things on the wrong lugs and whatnot and mess this all up and have it not work. So I'm going to double check that video right now and I'll come back to install it. Alright, so I'm listening to Rob Turner's video right now on EMG TV.
These are the type of terminals that you use in a fuse box in your car, so they're very reliable. It's very easy to attach the output cable to it. Ground is the center terminal. Oh, let's see. The signal terminal is going to be the one that's directly opposite. This is the tip. It has the tallest spring on it. You can see there. So this guy's going to go here. And then the next terminal is going to be the battery terminal. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this guy on. And when we put this together, we're going to just push the battery out of the way and the output cable out of the way. It's just the easiest way to do it, because once we get this wired, it might be a little bit difficult to get the output jack in place.
Alright, so if I understood that correctly, then this one here would be the one for the battery. And let me find that cable. Here it is right here. And since this is the switch rather than the bus, well, you know, these are nice and tight. And then basically this will plug in should be right here. But I'm going to double check that on the diagram. I tucked my batteries on here somewhere. That's exactly it. Alright. So yeah, so then it's going to go right here on the switch. Here we go. All right, so now have all this wired, and this, of course, will be the battery, and I'll be able to mount the switch into the guitar. Just trying to make some room here for the cables, give them a bit of space, so that I'm able to mount the jack without too much fanfare. I mean, not the jack, the switch, excuse me. All right, so let me grab the screws for the switch. All right. Unfortunately, they're chrome screws. Let me. All right, let's get that in there. And then my other one. I may have to make a little project and actually find gold screws for this. All right, so now we've got that, and the wires are in the cavity. I got, whoops, unravel that there. Battery will probably fit here in this little corner. And overall, I mean, I think for the most part the install is done. The battery connector here, the pickups are all installed. Got the all to the volume, then over to the tone, then the tone over to the output jack. And I should have everything on the correct terminals. All right, now let me see. I'm gonna put this through. Move you out of the way. Put this through just to help guide it into the hole here. They've actually got a little bit. This washer don't seem to be wanting to line up nicely. I don't know if it's bent or what. And it was a 1/2 inch, I believe, so let me. Alright. So now I've got the jack is mounted. All the other electronics have been mounted. Got the tone, volume, pickups have been set up. Just have to mount the pickups. And my 3-ways installed. Got the volume and the tone. They're solid. And now, let's install the pickups. Okay, here's my EMG 66. And again, we're looking at, I'm going to go ahead and remove the little cover. And they're looking for the little, remember the little arrow, which is up here on top. All right. All right, there's one. And here's my 57. Removing the little cap. And then just look for the little arrow. It's up here on top. Arrows there. All right. All right. That's that one. I'll tell you what. They're plugged in. I'm going to actually just put 2 screws on each one just to hold it in place. Where's my other screwdriver? Here we go. All right. Not bad. All right, now guess it's the moment of truth, right? So let me map my DAW over here. Let me go ahead and grab a guitar cable. I'm going to install the battery. I'm going to try anyway. Here we go. And I'm actually going to tape you down. Right with that tape again. You know, it's illegal in about 25 states to install EMG pickups without using blue tape. You guys know that, right? Okay, you know what? Maybe this won't even work. Kind of leave it like that. All right. I just don't want. All right. Okay, I just didn't want the battery falling out and ripping wires out. Okay, so now I have a battery. And I'm not going to do anything super fancy. I'm just going to plug this into my audio interface. And I'm just going to pull up a distortion, high gain. Ooh, oh, that took some serious clipping. Okay. Now I'm going to pull up, I'll pull up TH2. Turn all the gain way up. Get my headphones. Not hearing anything. I probably need to pick a different setup. Let me go back. Let me go, because I don't have an amp set up. All right, let's go into Sonar. And it could have been the settings in the software. That's what I'm going to double check. Yeah. All right, let's just listen to this real quick. All right, so we have sound. Put that there. So seems like maybe we have a problem. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, don't know what the deal was before, but we might have. All right. Okay, now we're testing. I've got my bridge pickup selected on the pickup selector here, and I'm hitting the bridge pickup, the neck pickup, clear. Now I go to full neck, and I go and nothing on the bridge, and in the middle position, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a winner. All right. Well, everything seems to be working. Let me go and wrap this up. All right, guys. I'm back. Just switched cameras, what side I was on. Anyway, I just tested it in my DAW. Again, I don't have an amp set up, so through TH2, high gain, I went ahead and hooked it all up, did the screwdriver test on the pickups, and sure enough, they're working. The switch is correct. I'm going to string this up, do a play test. That'll be another video, so stay tuned for that. But basically, just in summarization, I went ahead and did a EMG install on a EMG 57 and a 66. Put them into a Carvin guitar. I did have to do a teeny bit of routing. Not even, just kind of opening up the holes a teeny bit. And I ended up using, on this ST300, I used I think it's a 5/16. It literally fell in, it would go into the hole that was existing, and I just had to sit there and just twist it around a little bit. Of course, you put tape over it so you don't mar your finish if you've got paint, or if you've got a figured top of some sort. You don't want it to chip, you don't want it to clear coat the chip if it's got a clear coat. Word of caution, put a piece of tape over the whole area before you drop the drill bit in. Other than that, it's basically just a matter of removing all the existing electronics. And once you've removed all the existing electronics, putting in all the EMG stuff. I decided I wanted to go completely solderless, not mess with soldering to a switch or whatever. The stock switch was a 5-way, and I would have to do some sort of soldering thingamajig to get the 5-way to work with the 3-way setup for the EMGs. Didn't want to mess with that. EMG actually make a 3-way switch that'll fit a Strat or a Tele. The Strat switch fits perfectly in this Carvin ST300, so I went ahead and bought that switch. And that switch, incidentally, from EMG, actually has the pickup bus on it. Now, I was going to show it to you. If you didn't have the switch, if I didn't have the switch with the pickup bus on it already, like I did during my install, you would have to hook up this inside your control cavity, and all your pickups and battery and everything else plug into here. And then this little section here with the screws is where you put the wires that connect from your switch, three-way switch or whatever, but connect in here. This way then you still use the same switch, but then it's going all, this is the control brains of the whole EMG setup. So anyway, so I went ahead and just used a switch just to simplify everything. And wow, that was loud. And you can see, sort of, that inside my pickup cavity, got my battery, which I'm going to put some foam in and keep it. I just have the wires for the pickups, which are actually a little bit long, but other than that, my 2 pots, and then the switch, and there's nothing else in there. So anyway, it makes for a fairly simple, clean install, a little bit tedious, but anyway, looks like I ran just about an hour, give or take, and you probably could handle this too, because I'm not the most handy guy in the world. So hope this was helpful to you guys, it was useful. If so, comment below, give me a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And anyway, stay tuned for a play video with the new EMGs in my Carvin, and rock on, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks guys for stopping by.